Hello, welcome back to the Haunted Basement Studio. I'm your host, Triple B, Brent Bromberg, and in this hardcore comic book review, I'm going to be talking Sweetie Candy Vigilante Volume 2, Issue number 2. So, without further ado, let's get right into it. Alright, this issue is called Stand and Deliver, Your Honey or Your Life. And this is going to continue from the pages of what happened in the end of issue number 1. Where Sweetie Candy Vigilante and her crew killed a bunch of Bart Volgare's crew and his goons, and they messed Scurry up pretty bad. And they're driving to Sweetie Candy Vigilante headquarters to celebrate their victory, and Sweetie's reminding them that she needs Bart Volgare alive because he's the only one to know where her parents are and Max Volgare. And now as Sweetie Candy Vigilante and Candy Wolf and Pixie Stix make it back to the headquarters, Sweetie tells Hansel and Gretel to make sure that Trinkets gets to the lab. And what she's talking about is teeth. From all the goons that she kills, she takes one of their teeth. And then the tooth fairy is going to come over to the lab and inspect them. And now Peter Cottontail and Jack Rabbit are arguing about who had the shot on Bart Volgare last night. And they keep on arguing, and Candy Wolf is getting all mad and telling them to shut up. But they will not shut up. He gets so mad that he turns into a wolf. And he says, Sweetie needs Bart Volgare alive. And you got to remember, Sweetie Candy Vigilante is the only shot caller in this city. And now as they make their way into the speakeasy, Honey is sitting there on the couch, and she's a new character that we are introduced to. And they also enter Pixie to her, and they're like, oh, nice to meet you. Oh, I'm so glad to meet you. I've heard so much about you. And then Sweetie Candy Vigilante says, Honey is our beekeeper. We have 2 hives. We have an indoor hive and an outdoor hive. And then now Sweetie holds out this candy and says, I've been eating these all day. Please try one, Pixie. It's a honey bunny. Isn't it the sweetest thing? I can't wait to have these little bonbons in the shop. She says these little honey bunnies are going to be a hit in the shop. But then Honey has a shocked look on her face. And Sweetie's like, what's wrong, Honey? Now Honey reaches out her phone and she says, look, and there's pictures of bees missing their head. And then Sweetie says, Honey, why are you showing me this? This isn't nice at all. Is this some kind of prank? And then now Candy Wolf is looking at the pictures and he says, Honey, is this real? And she says, yes, it is real. They're dead. I went outside to check on the hive and I found them like that, all on the floor. And then now Sweetie yells, how did this happen? Did somebody do this? This is not nice. This is not nice at all. And then now Honey says, I don't know. I checked the security camera footage and it was all blanked out. And when the cameras came back on, I saw the dead bees. And then now Pixie says, was it an accident? And Sweetie says their heads were purposely chopped off. This was not an accident. Now Honey is crying and saying that she is sorry, but Sweetie hugs her and says, oh darling, you have nothing to be sorry about. Did you check the hive inside? She said, yes, I did, and everything is fine. And then Sweetie says, we will find out, my darling. We are family. Something awful has happened to our family members, and I promise you all, we will find out why. They are wondering if it has to do something with the honey in their new dewdrops candies. But why would anybody want to take that honey? And then Sweetie looks and says, let's go to the gun room. And as they make their way into the gun room, she opens up this door and there's this sweet stuff she calls, and she pulls it out and she's telling us a story how the queen bee made this special honey for her, and she takes a shot of the sweet stuff and then she walks over to her dummies and she says, now let's see, are you a good dummy or a bad dummy? My sweet stuff will be the judge. And then she clicks and then pours some on his head. And then all of a sudden, he slowly starts to melt away. And she says these dummies don't stay good for long. And now we're going to cut to the end of the issue where Bart Volgare is talking to some dude that's all jacked up, that's drinking some booze. And he's saying, I need your help. I need to talk to you right away in person. And as they hang up the phone, you see all these hornets surrounding this guy that's all jacked up. And he says, my murder hornets have been busy beheading your friends, sweetie. And he says, in my story, blood is sweeter than honey, the end. All right, man, the story is progressing on. We're getting another chapter of it. And now it looks like we're leading into another fight with somebody else that's going to try to take down Sweetie Candy Vigilante. I'm going to give this issue a solid 7 out of 10. It did progress the story, and I cannot wait to see where the next one goes. Thank you all for joining me in a haunted basement studio. Man, if you read Sweetie Candy Vigilante, tell me in the comment section below what you think. And you guys, you remember, you keep it hardcore. Comics. Laters.